Hello, everybody, and welcome to the challenge. I'm so happy you're here with me to work on your mindset about English learning and kind of boost your motivation so that you can get better results and make more progress than you have been. Okay, so today's day one of Realize Your Potential in English, and we are going to talk about finding time. Okay, so I wanted to start with this because I think that it's really important to remember that you have to make time for language learning. And you, obviously, if you, sorry, if you don't practice, you're not going to make progress. Okay, so we need to find the time to practice and incorporate this into our lives so that we make it more like a habit um, and less of like a big thing that we have to accomplish. So if we break up the time into little manageable time frames and goals, small goals, we can work continuously toward a bigger goal of learning English. Okay, so today, it's really about thinking of how you're going to add English into your life. Okay, so I know many people, myself included, um, always say, I'm so busy. I don't have time to practice English. I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to read a book. Okay. So we make excuses all the time um, by saying we're busy, right? Because a lot of people are busy. You have many things to do during the day. And if you're not organized about your life, it's hard to find time for things that are important. Um, but another thing is, I think that we get caught up in doing things that aren't helping us meet our goals, right? So maybe you watch TV every night after work, or maybe you go out with your friends like every other night after work. Um, and these things don't really help us get closer to our goals, right? They might be fun or relaxing, but in the long run, it's not going to help us to achieve anything. I'm not saying don't ever do these things, right? Like it's fine to do them sometimes, but you really want to think about, how am I spending my time? Am I spending my time in a productive and in a way that is going to help me in my life? Or am I just, kind of going through my life without really thinking about it? Okay? So, the point of the workbook today, if you look at it, is to think about what you're doing in your life. Think about what you can change or cut out of your life that's taking up a lot of time but not helping you. Um, and think about where you can add English into your life. Okay. And a key thing here is to try and add it where you're already doing something, or like you already have a little routine maybe in the morning. So you just add some English to your morning routine. Okay, because that's easier to stick to as a habit than if you don't really plan it at a time that you're doing something that you normally do during the day, if that makes sense. Okay, so if you have the workbook, you can go through it, okay? You can write down your answers. You can always print it out, or you can just do it digitally. So you can, it's a Google Doc. You just click File and make a copy, and then you can save it to your own computer or phone, okay? Um, so I think that you guys can do that. You can send me your answers if you want to. Um, just if you want someone to hold you accountable, I can always say, "Hey, did you practice your English at this time that you said you were going to today?" All right. So if you want me to do that, I can do it for you, at least for maybe a week, the first week. Um, but yeah, if you go ahead, you can see there's a calendar there and it tells you to schedule your English practice in. All right, so the point of today is really just to think about where you can fit English practice into your life. And it doesn't have to be a long period of time, right? So it doesn't have to be hours and hours of practice, right? So if you start small, it's much easier than if you start with too big of a challenge. Okay, so we want to make small, achievable goals. So 20 minutes a day, 20 minutes 3 days a week, even would be better than nothing, right? Okay. All right. And the last thing is a key thing I want you to remember is before you do this practice, like the night before, I want you to remind yourself that you're going to practice the next day. Okay. So before you go to bed, you might say, okay, I will practice English tomorrow at 9 a.m. for 20 minutes. I have time to invest in my learning. I'm making it a priority in my life because it's important to me. Okay? So I want you to say that before you go to bed, just to remind yourself and kind of put it subconsciously into your brain that you will do this tomorrow. Okay? So I think this is really helpful. All right, so that's day one. Let me know if you have any questions, okay? And I'll see you on day two.